Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary for Wednesday, November the 14th. I'm Clay Emo at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm a founding member of the GLCPC, the good-looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. Last night the Canucks lost 5-2 to the New York Islanders in Brooklyn. Now they're struggling on their road trip. They look like a team that is near the tail end of a road trip. They looked outmanned. They simply looked fatigued and outworked last night. The Islanders, full credit. Despite the iffy fourth goal, they were certainly the better team on the night. Now the Canucks got to pull it together for one more game on the road against Minnesota tomorrow before they come home. And I thought it would be appropriate at the 20-game mark, basically the quarter mark of the season, to look at three surprises, three positive things about the Canucks, and three concerns I have about them. So let's talk about where they are right now. They are in second place in the division. They are sitting with 22 points in 20 games. So not bad, not amazing, but certainly not bad. And their record is 10-8-2 of those 20 games. So 10 wins, 8 regulation losses, and 2 shootout overtime losses. Both of them happen to be in shootout. Both of them very recently, actually, on this road trip. So it's a matter of perspective, right? If you're looking at 22 points in 20 games and you're looking at second in the division, you could say, well, from a glass half empty standpoint, they've lost 4 out of the last 5. They're really struggling, and for these reasons, which I'll get to in a second. So 4 out of 5, the pessimists would say they're kind of wheels are falling off. They're on their way down, kind of thing. The optimists would say, well, if you told me at the start of the season that the Canucks would be in second place with a record of 22 points in 20 games, at a record of 10-8-2. After 20 games, I think most people would take that. They'd be elated, they'd be ecstatic, they'd be very surprised. So that's where we are right now. The other matter-of-fact thing, not an excuse, not a reason, whatever, of those 20 games, only 7 of them have been at home. 13 of them have been away on the road. And of those 13, there's been one quick one, one quick 2-game road trip, but there's been already a 6-game road trip at the start of the season, and now they're finishing off another 6-game road trip. They played 5 of those 6 games. So 6 up top, 5 just now, and then 2 in the middle. That's 13 of their 20 games of being on the road. If you're on the road, you know you're switching time zones, you're traveling, you're sleeping in hotels, you're not sleeping in your own bed, you're eating sometimes good meals in the hotels, but other times not so good, some takeout or whatever, maybe later nights than usual, whatever it may be. There's a lot of stuff going on the road, and it's not always the easiest thing to do. I'm waving to my kids as they leave for school. So 13 out of 20, 65% of the games have been on the road. That's a tough schedule, especially to start off the season. But that does mean, obviously, everything's got to equal out. That means that they'll be playing a lot more of their games at home coming up. So whatever that means, read into that whatever you want. And then lastly, before I get into my 3 reasons here, I put a poll out yesterday on Twitter, knowing I was going to do this recording, saying, now with the Canucks, 10-8-2 start, and second in the division, do you still think they're going to be a playoff team? And I think the numbers were, I got about 120 votes on it in the span of 12 hours, and the numbers were relatively close. About a third of you are saying yes, they are a playoff team. About a bit more than a third, 39% are saying they'll just miss the playoffs, and 29% of you saying they'll be way out of the playoffs. So that still means, what's 39 and 29? That's 68%. That means 68% of you are still saying this is not a playoff team, where 32% of you are saying it is a playoff team. And of those 32, I think it's broken down even like about 8 or 10% are saying, yeah, they're going to finish top 3 in their division. Then the rest of that, about 22, 24% are saying, no, they're going to be a wild card team. So there's the 8 plus 24. So 32% of you are saying, yes, they will make the playoffs, either in top 3 or wild card. But then 68% of you saying, no, they're not going to make the playoffs. 39% saying they'll just miss, 29% saying that they will miss by far. So in essence, only a third of you still believe. I think if we asked this question about 2 weeks ago, the number would be a lot higher. But still, that's a third of the people, a third of Canucks fans being realistic. And maybe that's 32% more than would said yes at the start of the season. So that's the glass half full of you. As you know, I'm a founding member of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. So I'm obviously going to be optimistic, and I still am about this team. So let's talk about 3 surprises, and then let's talk very quickly about 3 concerns I have. The 3 surprises. Number 1, of course, is the rookie phenom, Elias Pettersson. He struggled a bit, coincidentally, as soon as I bought his jersey and wrote a song about him. But hey, I don't believe in curses. I expect him to get fully, to get back on track. defenses are learning how to play him. We kind of saw this with Boeser last year. He's not used to playing so many games. He's been on the road. So whatever it may be, he's still the runaway favorite to win the Calder. He still has his 10 goals now in 13 or 14 games. So it's not on a goal-a-game pace anymore, but still playing very well, an assist here and there, and leading the team in scoring by a wide margin. So Elias Pettersson, we've talked about him ad nauseum here, but for good reason. He's bringing a lot of hope to Canucks fans, and in essence, potentially helping speed up the rebuild by a couple years or so. So that's number one, biggest surprise in a good way, Elias Pettersson. Number two, Jake Virtanen. He has 8 goals. He has 10 points and 20 games, but he's 8 goals already, putting him on pace for 32 or 33 goals. I'm not sure those that can drink beer and shotgun beer can handle that pace, but he's playing very well. A lot of confidence, way more ice time, playing on the power play, and scoring in different ways, not just on the rush off the left side, but he's scoring in front of the net. He's scoring from the face-off circles with his wrist shot. Whatever it may be, I love his combination of speed, size, and skill, his good release. Hockey IQ is getting better, getting more confident. Jake Virtanen, my second surprise. My third surprise, second surprise along with Jake Virtanen, would be Loui Eriksson. So I should have bundled these guys up into secondary scoring. So Jake Virtanen has 8 goals, 10 points. Loui Eriksson quietly has 12 points in the first 20 games, putting him in third or fourth in scoring, right behind. The top 5 in scoring goes Pettersson, then Horvat, and then you have Eriksson, Boeser, and then Virtanen. So Virtanen and Eriksson in the top 5 of the Canucks scoring. So the secondary scoring is my second point, which includes Jake Virtanen and includes Loui Eriksson. Loui Eriksson, 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points in those 20 games, playing wherever he plays, first line, second line, third line, doing little things well, as we like to say, but being a nice surprise to the start of the season, and I hope he does well. We've got 3 more seasons of him after this. And the third surprise being the resurgence, I think, of our D, especially guys like Ben Hutton and Eric Gudbranson. Gudbranson in particular recently had a 5-game point streak. He's playing very well. Ben Hutton's playing with a lot more confidence, more minutes, that comes with the territory when Alex Edler's out, when Chris Tanev was out for a little while. So I really like Ben Hutton's game, skating well, being aggressive, and Gudbranson's playing well, not being out of position as much as last year, and I think that comes with confidence. It sounds like he's in a lot better shape as well. So those are my 3 pleasant surprises to the start of the season. Elias Pettersson, secondary scoring, i.e. Virtanen and Eriksson, and then, of course, the rejuvenated D, especially Ben Hutton and Eric Gudbranson. 3 concerns as we go. Number 1 is injuries. It's not an excuse. Every team deals with them, but obviously Vancouver Canucks deal with it a lot. And it may have a lot to do with that schedule that we talked about, the fact that they've been on the road so much. But whatever it may be, they've played a significant part of this season with at least 5 or 6 players out of the lineup. And right now, it's Brock Boeser, Sven Baertschi, Brandon Sutter, Jay Beagle, Alex Edler, and Anders Nilsson. So you got your backup goalie, you got your number 1 D, you got your third and fourth center, you got arguably your second best, or your best wing, your 2 best wingers too. That was brutal the way I did. I went backwards. But yeah, Boeser and Baertschi, your 2 best wingers, right? Don't count Horvat or Pettersson, or among your 2 best wingers. Then you have your third and fourth centers in Sutter and Beagle. Then you have number 1 D-man in Tanev, and your backup goalie in Anders Nilsson. So everything could be related. Could be due to all the travel, but some of these injuries were sustained no matter where you're playing, home or away. But it is the wear and tear, is the fatigue of traveling. Like I said, the wear and tear on your body. So hopefully the Canucks will get out of their current funk, and show, and like they have been at the start of the season, that they are much better, much more able to sustain the injuries than they were last year. Last year, Horvat went down at the start of December. I was at that game, and then the whole season went to pot after that. So we'll see what happens this season. The Canucks have been, they start off really well. They've tapered off a little bit, but that's 20 games in, like I said, with 22 points. That's pretty good. But the injuries are a factor. Number 2, inconsistent goaltending related to the injuries. With Anders Nilsson out for the past 9 games, that's why Jacob Markstrom has started 9 games. And many of us, I'm not convinced he's a pure number 1. I'm convinced he's a decent goalie, and he can win some games, but he's a true number 1 in the form of a Price or a Hellebuck or a Rene. I don't think so. And at least with Anders Nilsson healthy, he can push him a little bit. Nilsson actually has better stats on the season. And then I guess with that, if Nilsson was playing, then Markstrom would have had to start the last 9 games. And it's not Markstrom's fault that we've lost 4 of the last 5, but you saw he wasn't sharp on at least the first goal last night. And you wonder if that's fatigue, or if that's the way he said that the way the new skates are, whatever it may be. you still want to give Markstrom a chance to be on the bench, to work with goaltending coach Ian Clark. And with Anders Nilsson being out injured, they simply don't have that luxury. So I think we need better goaltending going forward if the Canucks do want to challenge for a playoff spot. And lastly, the third concern I have is the special teams. Again, related to injuries, because you're missing 3 of your top 5 on your PP1 unit. You're missing Brock Boeser, Sven Baertschi, and Alex Edler. And in their place, you have, although I like them very much, you have guys like Adam Gaudette and Nikolai Goudobin and Derrick Pouliot. So I don't know about you, but you know, in my first power play unit, I'd much rather have Boeser, Baertschi, Edler than Gaudette, Goudobin, and Pouliot. So it affects the power play, especially power play 1. It affects penalty kill, because now Brandon Sutter and Jay Beagle are 2 of your best penalty killers. Now you have Bo Horvat playing more minutes than he needs to on the penalty kill. Now he's a bad penalty killer, but then it's a trickle-down effect, right? Now Horvat's not as full strength. They're not with all his energy for offensive zone starts, power play, and even strength, of course. So, you know, you look at their percentages. The power play is 15th in the league, right in the middle at 18.5%. Not bad, not great. It's tapered off a lot in the last little bit. And then their penalty kill is slightly worse. They're at 19th overall in the league at 80.3. So you add those two together, you know, I like to call it the Clay special team stat, where you add them together, and you want obviously a number over 100, right? With your your power play percentage plus your penalty kill percentage, you know, 100 would be a nice gauge. At 18.5 and 80.3, that combines for 98.8. So it's just short of 100. Not great, not the worst ever, but certainly in the middle of the pack. And we see that 15th on power play, 19th overall on penalty kill. So we need to, I'd love to see those get in the top 10, top 12 of the league. Power play should be able to do that. Actually, both should be able to do that once guys return from injuries, wherever that it may be. So Canucks fans, I leave those with you. My 3 surprises: Pettersson, secondary scoring, rejuvenated D. 3 concerns I have: injuries, goaltending, and special teams. Leave a comment below which ones resonate with you. Do all of them resonate with you? Did I miss any? I'd love to read, react, and reply, especially to this video. I'll have time to actually reply to some comments tonight after church. So leave a comment below. Which of those 6 reasons, 3 on each side, resonate with you? Which one do you think are important? Which one do you agree with me? Do you disagree with any of them? And do you would you add any to the list of either surprises or concerns? 20 games in, 1 quarter mark of the season. Canucks fans, leave a comment below. Again, I'd love to read, react, and reply. I have to go to work now. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Have a great day. Canucks finish off their road trip in Minnesota tomorrow night. God bless, and go Canucks go.